Two Tesla owners, same car, same year, same mileage. One has 18% battery degradation, the other just 6%. The difference wasn't luck. It was 15 habits, and most EV owners are making them right now. Mistake number 1. Charging to 100% every day. Most new EV owners do this automatically. They plug in every night and wake up to a full battery. Feels right. Feels responsible. It's not. Lithium-ion batteries, the chemistry inside almost every modern EV, operate best between 20 and 80%. That range is called the sweet spot, and staying inside it dramatically slows degradation. When you charge to 100% every single night, the battery sits under elevated voltage stress for hours while you sleep. Over months, that stress compounds into measurable capacity loss. Think of it like keeping a rubber band stretched to its absolute limit all night, every night. Eventually, it loses elasticity and snaps sooner than it should have. Most manufacturers, Tesla, Hyundai, Volkswagen, Kia, explicitly recommend capping your daily charge at 80% in their owner documentation. Set the limit in your car's charging settings right now and leave it there. Save the full charge for road trips only. That one habit alone can add years to your battery's useful life. Mistake number 2. Using DC fast charging every day. DC fast charging is a genuine game changer for road trips. Pull up, charge to 80% in 20 to 40 minutes, and keep moving. But using it as your daily charger, that's where problems start. DC fast chargers push enormous amounts of current into your battery in a short window. That process generates significant heat, and heat is the primary accelerant of battery degradation. Studies from Geotab and the Idaho National Laboratory found that EVs using fast charging more than 3 times per month showed measurable faster capacity loss compared to vehicles primarily using level 2 home charging. The degradation issue is around 2 to 3% additional capacity loss per year for frequent fast charge users. That doesn't sound like much, but over 5 years, it's the difference between a battery at 88% health and one at 75%. Use level 2 AC charging at home for your daily routine. Keep the fast charger for the highway where it belongs. Mistake number 3. Letting the battery drop to 0%. This one mirrors mistake 1 on the opposite end. Just like charging to 100 stresses the battery from the top, running it to 0 stresses the cells from the bottom. Your battery management system will cut power before the pack truly hits empty. But even operating near that low threshold repeatedly is hard on the chemistry. Deep discharges force cells to work at their limits, and the cumulative effect of repeated low charge cycles shortens the battery's total lifespan faster than normal degradation would. Beyond battery health, there is a practical risk too. If you're consistently running your battery near empty, you have no buffer for unexpected detours, traffic delays, or a faster charger that turns out to be out of service. Treat 20% like your personal warning line. When you hit it, your next stop should involve a charger, not another 40 miles of highway driving. Mistake 4. Ignoring software updates. Your EV is a computer with wheels. The software running that computer manages everything: charging curves, thermal regulation, regenerative braking calibration, efficiency, energy efficiency, and battery protection logic. When manufacturers push an over-the-air update, they're often fixing real problems: bugs that affect charging speed, inefficiencies that reduce range, calibration issues in the battery management system that cause premature degradation. Tesla has added dozens of miles of real-world range to existing vehicles purely through software changes. Hyundai and Volkswagen regularly push updates that improve battery protection behavior. One ignored update can mean your car is running on outdated charging logic for months. Ignoring those updates means leaving free performance improvements on the table, and sometimes leaving known problems completely unaddressed. Enable automatic updates if your car requires a service visit for software patches. Schedule it the same way you'd schedule any other maintenance. Mistake 5. Parking in extreme heat. Heat is the single biggest enemy of lithium-ion battery chemistry. Not cold weather, not fast charging, heat. Long-term exposure to high ambient temperatures accelerates the chemical reactions inside battery cells, and that acceleration doesn't reverse when the car cools down at night. The damage is cumulative and permanent. Owners in Arizona, Texas, and other hot climate states consistently show higher degradation rates on the same vehicle platforms compared to owners in cooler regions, and parking habits are a significant contributing factor. When temperatures are extreme, park in a garage or shaded structure whenever possible. Even moving your car out of direct sun during a long workday makes a measurable difference over time. If your car has a battery thermal management option, you can trigger remotely through the manufacturer's app. Use it on hot days. Keeping the pack temperature controlled on a 105-degree afternoon is one of the most protective things you can do for long-term battery health. And it costs you nothing. Mistake 6. Not preconditioning the battery. Most EV owners have no idea this feature exists. It's one of the most underused tools in the entire ownership experience. Preconditioning allows you to warm or cool the battery to its optimal operating temperature before you drive or charge, while the car is plugged in and drawing from grid power instead of your battery. This matters in two specific situations. In cold weather, a thermally cooled battery charges more slowly and delivers noticeably less range. Preconditioning before a morning commute means you leave with a battery that's ready to perform rather than spending the first 10 to 15 miles warming it up at the expense of your own energy. Before a DC fast charge session on a road trip, preconditioning brings the pack to the ideal temperature for maximum charge acceptance rate. The practical result is faster charging sessions, better real-world efficiency, and reduced cell stress. Most modern EVs, Tesla, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, support this through their app or a built-in departure scheduler. If you've never set it up, spend 5 minutes doing it tonight. Mistake 7. Relying only on public fast chargers. If public DC fast chargers are your primary charging source because you haven't installed a home charger, you're paying more and degrading your battery faster at the same time. Public fast charging costs significantly more per kilowatt hour than home electricity in almost every market. Depending on your local rates and charging network you use, public fast charging can cost you 2 to 4 times what home charging costs for the same amount of energy delivered. Over a full year of driving, that gap adds up to hundreds of dollars. And as covered in Mistake 2, that high current charging is harder on the pack than repeated exposure. The vast majority of EV owners who are genuinely happy with long-term ownership charge at home on Level 2 as their baseline. A Level 2 home charger installation typically runs between $500 and $1,200 all in, depending on your electrical setup. If you're serious about EV ownership, a home charger isn't a luxury upgrade. It's the foundation on which the entire experience is built. Before we continue, if this is useful, hit subscribe. More real-world EV content is coming that cuts through the noise. Mistake 8. Ignoring tire maintenance. EVs are heavy. A battery pack alone weighs between 600 and 1,300 pounds, depending on the vehicle. That extra mass, combined with instant torque delivery every time you pull away from a stop, accelerates tire wear significantly, up to 20% faster than a comparable gas-powered car. If you're running the same tire rotation and inspection schedule you used on your last vehicle, you're already falling behind. Check tire pressure monthly. Low pressure on a heavy EV reduces both range and braking performance simultaneously. Rotate every 7,500 miles rather than the 10,000-mile interval you might have used before. Inspect tread regularly and pay attention to uneven wear patterns, which can signal alignment issues that compound quickly under the weight of an EV. Some manufacturers now have tires specifically engineered for electric vehicles. Lower rolling resistance for better range, reinforced sidewalls for the extra load, and acoustic foam layers for a quieter ride. They're worth considering when it's time to replace your current set. Mistake 9. Not planning charging stops on trips. This mistake doesn't damage your battery. It ruins your road trip and creates unnecessary stress that makes people regret buying an EV. Assuming public chargers will be available, functional, and unoccupied when you need them is a gamble that fails more often than it should. Broken chargers, occupied stalls, network outages, and payment failures are real and common enough to plan around. Arriving at a charger with 7% battery and finding it out of service is a situation that turns a good trip into a miserable one. Use your car's built-in navigation or a dedicated app to plan charging stops before you leave home. Build at least one backup option into each leg of the journey. Charging from 20 to 80% is significantly faster than charging from nearly empty to high levels. The charging curve flattens considerably above 80%, so stopping earlier and staying in the optimal window benefits your schedule and your battery at the same time. Treat charging stops the way experienced road trippers treat fuel stops. Planned in advance, not desperately improvised. Mistake 10. Leaving the battery at 100% for days. We already covered why charging to 100% daily is a problem, but there's a separate mistake that catches people who only charge to full occasionally, and then leave the car sitting. The battery parked at 100% for 48, 72, or 96 hours is under continuous elevated voltage stress the entire time. The chemistry doesn't stabilize just because the car isn't moving. Every hour at maximum state of charge adds incremental stress to the cells. If you charge to full before a trip and then the trip gets canceled or delayed, don't leave it sitting. Plug back in and drop your charge limit to 80% immediately. If you charge to 100% and you're driving the same day, that's perfectly fine. The battery is designed to handle a full charge when it's being used actively. The damaging combination is full charge plus extended time parked. Avoid that specific pairing, and you remove one of the more avoidable sources of long-term battery stress. Mistake 11. Using the wrong charger. Not all third-party chargers and charging cables meet the same standards. Uncertified or poorly manufactured charging equipment, particularly at the level 2 cable or wall box level, can deliver inconsistent current, generate excessive heat at the connector, or trigger fault conditions in your battery management system that wouldn't occur with properly certified hardware. The connector interface between your charging cable and your car's port is a high current junction. When that junction runs hot repeatedly because of a low-quality cable with poor contact surfaces, the damage is cumulative. You may not notice it immediately, but over hundreds of charging sessions, it degrades the port and stresses the cells on every session. Always use equipment certified by recognized safety standards bodies. UL listed in the United States, CE marked in Europe. When purchasing a home level 2 charger, verify certification before buying. For public chargers, stick to established networks. If a connector feels unusually hot after a charging session or your car throws a charging fault, report it and stop using that equipment. Mistake 12. Ignoring EV maintenance. The marketing around EVs focuses heavily on what you don't have to do. No oil changes, no spark plugs, no timing belt. And that's all true. But it creates a false impression that EVs need no maintenance at all. They do. Brakes still need inspection, even though regenerative braking extends pad life significantly. Coolant in the battery thermal management system needs periodic checks. Suspension components wear. Cabin air filters need replacement. Some EVs have a reduction gear with its own fluid that requires a change around 60,000 miles. Follow your manufacturer's service schedule. Skipping maintenance because you assume nothing needs attention is how small problems turn into expensive ones. Mistake 13. Driving aggressively all the time. Instant torque is one of the genuinely great things about electric cars. Floor it from a stop and you feel it immediately. No lag, no rev building, just acceleration. That's fine occasionally. It becomes a problem when it's the default driving mode. Constant hard acceleration burns through energy at a rate that dramatically cuts your real-world range. It also puts maximum stress on your tires in every situation where the heavier-than-average EV is being pushed hardest. On the battery side, repeated high-current draw events, essentially flooring it from every light, are not neutral for long-term cell health. Smooth progressive acceleration is the right default. Save the full throttle pull for when it actually matters. Mistake 14. Ignoring battery health monitoring. Modern EVs give you real visibility into your battery's actual condition. State of health data, charging curve behavior, estimated degradation rate, cell balance information. This data is available either through the car's native interface, the manufacturer's app, or well-established third-party diagnostic tools. Most owners never look at any of it. Battery degradation doesn't announce itself dramatically. There's no warning light that says your pack aged 3% faster than expected this year. It's slow, quiet, and cumulative. But if you check your battery health periodically, even just twice a year, you can catch early warning signs before they become expensive ones. A charging curve that flattens earlier than it used to, a state of health reading dropping faster than the expected 2 to 2.3% annually, or cell imbalance developing ahead of schedule are all signals that something is worth investigating while it's still under warranty. Catching a battery issue at 60,000 miles and 7 years is a very different conversation with a dealership than catching it at 105,000 miles and 9 years. Mistake 15. Buying an EV without planning charging. This is the mistake that happens before you even own the car, and it creates problems that follow the owner for years afterward. Most buyers spend weeks researching range, features, color options, and trim levels, and give no serious thought to where they're actually going to charge it. That's exactly backwards. Before you commit to an EV purchase, answer these questions. Do you have a garage or dedicated parking space where a level 2 outlet can be installed? If you're renting, does your lease allow electrical modifications? Is your home's electrical panel capable of supporting a new 240-volt dedicated circuit without a costly upgrade? If home installation isn't an option, are there reliable public charging options within a reasonable distance of where you park overnight? These aren't secondary considerations to sort out after delivery. They are the questions that determine whether your EV ownership experience is smooth and affordable or genuinely frustrating from the first week. An EV with 300 miles of range and no convenient charging solution is a worse daily driver than an EV with 220 miles of range and a level 2 charger installed the week you take delivery. Figure out your charging reality before you sign anything, and if a home charger isn't possible, make sure the public infrastructure in your specific area actually supports your daily pattern before you commit. 15 mistakes, all of them avoidable. None of them are obvious the day you buy the car. Every one of these habits is simple once you know it. The owners quietly getting 200,000 miles out of their original battery aren't doing anything extraordinary. They're just doing these things consistently, while everyone else is guessing. Drop a comment below. Which of these 15 did you not know? And subscribe if you want more content that gives you what actually matters about electric vehicles without the noise.